Hey, everybody. And thank you, Gary, for the raid. Appreciate it, man. As you seen there while you were waiting for me, um, nothing has changed since 11 o'clock this morning as far as the information. Let me go ahead and switch back over. This is the 5 p.m. update, most current information. It's still 85 miles per hour winds, still 986 millibar on the pressure, still northwest at 13. I really expected it to be stronger winds, but it's still going through an eye wall replacement. There's actually two eye walls. The first eye wall is only about maybe 5 miles across. So, here I can get rid of this. So what kind of changes do we have? Do we have a change in the cone? Let's take a look. Might already know what my answer is going to be. No change in the cone, except something that I don't like to see. It's going to slow down. Hey, thanks for the bits. I'll zoom in on this. It's going to slow down. Especially, notice that this line, this mark, and this mark are a lot closer than these back here. That means it's slowing down. Same way with this one here. So those last three, it's slowing down. Going to spend a lot more time doing damage there in Florida. Now the only other thing is the models. These latest model runs. GFS and the Euro are coming together. And Nathan, by golly, you might make me into a liar. Let's, what is a millibar? It's at 986. Same thing it was 6 hours ago. This is the GFS. I'm going to use pivotal weather here. And first I'll play it. Watch down in the bottom right. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Kind of zoomed in on it. Notice what that GFS is doing to it. Boom. Second landfall? I wonder how that's going to play out. Here she comes again. A little bit further south than what it had it. Goes inland. Rides up that coast for a little bit. Goes out to the waters. And boom. Comes right back up North Carolina. I'm not liking the looks of that. And this is the GFS after all, so. But let's go ahead and stop this and go frame by frame. Here she's starting to get close to shore. Right there, the outer edges. The time on that is 0Z on the 2nd. That's Monday. 0Z. That's 8 o'clock Eastern time at night. So this, according to this model run, is going to be a nighttime hurricane. Now she goes back out over open waters. Can we believe the GFS? I'm not too confident. I mean, I am as far as Florida, but when it comes back up here and possibly makes land again, I don't know. That's on Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then she comes up here. So let's look at the euro. Again, I'll play it. Looks real similar as far as Florida goes, don't it? Now I want to stop this. Here she comes from the bottom right. Even further south at that point than what it has been showing. There's landfall. 12Z Wednesday. 12Z is 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll back up one scan. This would be 12Z Tuesday morning. So 8 o'clock Tuesday morning is when she starts, the outer edges of it, really starts coming in. So Nathan, that kind of looks like it's going to blow you out of the water as far as actually catching it. We'll step through this. And there she goes up the coast. Now that's the last of the Euro run. Now things are going to change by tonight. Now one thing, you heard me talking about a high pressure ridge that's going to help steer this. This is the beginning of that high pressure ridge that's going to help steer it. That's part of it. There's another one out here. Let me put this up. You can see how that brown did not want to do that. Back it up here. But there's that high pressure ridge forming. This is going to help steer it. This whole area right in here. That's going to help steer it. Oh, you have, Nathan? Done canceled. I thought you were going to go down there and get walloped by some winds and then leave. Now watch these model runs change its mind again tomorrow. And then he'll say, oh, damn, I should not have canceled. That high pressure ridge is what's going to keep it going south, or south, or not south. It's going to keep it from turning north right away. It's got to get around that high pressure that will eventually be out here over the water, and it's going to turn that toward Florida. Yeah, that's right. Monday night. Watch this thing change its mind again tomorrow, man. Then what are you going to do? Rebook? Oh, okay. Because I tell you what, man, these models changing so much over just the last 6 hours and the 6 hours prior to that and the 6 hours prior to that. I mean, these model runs is just so many uncertainties that's driving these models a little nuts. Now let's take a look at visible satellite while I got it. Won't be long. I won't have it. There's your visible. Now, I'm starting to see some things that I kind of like. Let's zoom in here. Let it load. Gonna load a lot of tiles right there. You can really see the swirl of the center. Hi, Jane. But notice how much more centralized that spin has got from what it was earlier. Earlier, and I'll go ahead and pause this, put it on the latest. Here you can see this eye wall. I think it's already got rid of the inner one because the inner one back up here. It was showing 2 up in there. Okay, here was the inner one. And here's this outer one. So it looks like to me, when I go to the latest one and zoom in, know how much wider. Whoops, I can't draw where the hoot. How much wider that eye has gotten. So to me, it looks like it's already done a eye wall replacement. And look at the storm tops really blow it up around that eye. That's cool. But what I'm liking now, I mean, it's still got this dry air coming in right there, but it's starting to look better overall. It's getting more symmetric, more round. And we'll let her play. So the overall look of it, it's looking a lot healthier than what it did 6 hours ago. It's still mostly east loaded, over on the right hand side. But the center of it itself is looking healthier. It's getting more round. Look at infrared. Interesting. Look at how dark that gets. It's right around that core. That's intensifying. Poor Nathan, this time of the year, he can't afford to call in sick. This is some of your busiest time, isn't it, Nathan? So let's zoom out. See what's going on around us. Take a look at water vapor. It shows up a lot better. Then let it load everything. Notice this upper level low. it's starting to move itself south. That's really going to help this thing intensify on these outflow bands. Upper level low is about right there. So it's moved a little bit more south. It was up here. Now she's getting down around here. And so that should help it, I think. Still, that big uncertainty, like I've been talking about for several days, is going to be how strong is that ridge off the Carolina coast this weekend? How much is this low going to affect it? Does this low continue to go southwest? Does it go west? Depending on where that upper level low goes, that's part of the steering for this thing. Yeah, over there on YouTube, Juju. Yeah, you're right. On the visible satellite. As the sun goes down, you can really, really get a good look at these tops and these individual storms, especially in this outer band that's feeding into it. I'm hoping this thing really gets a better look by tomorrow. So that's pretty much it for now. The model's changed, but nothing else did. The cone's still the same, except for those lines and the timing getting closer together at the end of the cone. The closer these points get, the slower the thing's going to be moving, especially on these three. Closer them lines are together, or those points, the slower it's projected to be. If it slows down a bunch, wow. Could be a upper end cat 4. I don't know. Now this point down here, they've kind of changed the timing. Here they have it as a cat 2, 105 mile per hour winds, and I'll zoom in, make it a little bit easier for you to see. With gusts of 125, that's going to be at 2 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. That says AST for Atlantic Standard Time. That's the same thing as Eastern time, by the way, in case you didn't know that. I'm hoping it does go ahead and make Cat 2 later tonight. It was projected to, on the last runs, to be a Cat 2 around 8 o'clock tonight. Okay, Juju, stay safe down there in Orlando, man. Because no matter where it makes landfall in Florida, this thing slows down and really intensifies. It could get a lot wider. If it does that, almost every bit of Florida is going to be affected. It may only be tropical storm force winds, around the outside. But, yeah, I think Orlando is going to get nailed. So, Juju, you're over on YouTube. Thank you for joining me over there. And stay safe. What the wind speed and that's going to be at the tri-state area, it's a little early. This is from Gino over on YouTube. What the category wind speeds will be, it's too early to tell. really too early to tell. A lot of it is going to be if it comes into land like they've got the center line and kind of hangs out there or slows down, which it should. This right here has already got it down to 75 mile per hour, so that's just barely a Cat 1. And that's for 2 p.m. on Tuesday. So we got to wait and see. Hey, thanks for the new follow. So we got to wait and see how this thing reacts when it gets close to land and which way it turns. I mean, these spaghetti models are getting where tonight they're all over the place. Just stay tuned. The next update, like I was showing, is going to be 11 o'clock tonight. I will be broadcasting a little bit after 11. I got to wait sometimes till I get all the information. Okay, why do I got to hum? Train going by. That's what all that low hum was. I got train tracks right over here. But I will be broadcasting a little bit after 11. Sometimes, like tonight, I had to wait about 15 minutes to get all the information ready for you. Sometimes I get a little early. Like 6 hours ago, I got it at about 10 till. And so I was able to go on pretty close to the top of the hour. So just hang tight. For now, that's about all I can give you. I'm sorry. I was really hoping for more. So, Nathan, before I go, how we looking on them storms? Hey, thanks for the bits. How we looking on them storms out there in Nebraska? You still gonna go out tonight? Take a gander at Nebraska here. See what we got. Let me turn satellite off, radar on. Oh, they're out there by North Platte. Yes, slower means more time over warm water, more time to get stronger. So could we have possible strong Cat 4? Anything's possible at this point. I mean, we're still several days away. So this daggone little compact storm, they're hard to predict. Larger storms are a lot easier. So I hope it actually gets physically bigger as long it's out over the ocean doing it. I don't want it to see it get physically bigger and hit land, because more territory will get tore up. Yeah, if you look at the latest model run, it's going to make landfall. Switch scenes here for you. That's this one right here. That's right before landfall, and that's showing 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the 2nd. That's on Monday. But if Get out of this. Now we'll look at it. If it takes a southerly track, it could make landfall at a different time than what it would north of Orlando. So it's a little confusing right now because the models has it coming in at different times than what this cone's showing. Let me show you the GFS. Back it up. Now right there, it looks like when the eye wall would make landfall, okay? This is the GFS model. This is at 12Z. So that's 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Now what they may be confusing you is what time the outer strong winds get to you, or the tropical storm force winds. Those will get there at a sooner time than the actual center does. So they could be confusing, one might be saying, okay, we're going to start getting the tropical storm force winds at this time, and the other one may be, maybe looking at the hurricane storm force winds. Yeah, I think it's got a pretty good chance there, Jojo, that it could be a Cat 2 by the next advisory. Now that's the GFS. Let's go back over before I leave here real quick and look at the Euro. Now they're showing 8 o'clock Wednesday morning on the Euro. That's when the eye is coming on to land. But this is going to change. It's still so far out. It's going to change. Don't panic, but do get ready. Like I was saying, my last several broadcasts, start planning now. Start getting stocked up, and anything you need done, get her done. Don't wait till Saturday. Okay? So there we go for now, folks. Any questions? We'll keep this one kind of short. It's, let me explain this. Now, you've always heard me say the northeast quadrant is where the worst crap is. It doesn't mean that the wind is stronger in that quadrant, but what you got to figure is forward motion, the speed that it's moving, plus the wind speed, because it'll be pretty much the same winds all the way around it. But then when you add the forward motion of the storm, hey, thanks for the bits. You add that to the actual wind speed, and that's where it gets more destructive on that quadrant. That's one reason why, like you say, it packs more of a punch. But, like I was saying in a couple of my broadcasts, that particular quadrant is where you'll see most of your quick spin up tornadoes. They can happen anywhere around it, but that quadrant is, if it's moving north, it'd be the northeast or upper right quadrant. That's where you'll tend to see the most quick spin up tornadoes. Also, let me zoom in on this and look at it again. Something else I want to point out, and as it gets closer, I'll start working on this and showing you maps. Okay, these winds are going counterclockwise, right? Guess what's going to happen on this northern side? Hey, Slayer. That northern side, the winds are pushing onto land. Here comes your storm surge. Now on the southern side, the winds is going to be blowing east, so it'll be pushing water away from shore. Can't talk straight today. So this northern side of it, as it's making landfall, is going to be the worst storm surge. I guess there's also a thing that I'll go into maybe at 11 o'clock called the king tide. That's a happening down there. Happens a few times a year. Plus you'll have high tide possibly intermixing with this. So you're going to have higher tide with the king tide with the storm surge. So when this thing starts getting closer, what I plan on is I'll not only be bringing you this information, I'll show you maps where evacuation zones will be, storm surge, give you some information of what's going on with the waves and the waves out, on away from shore. There's buoys that gives information all the time. So as this thing gets closer, I'll also work on giving all of that information for you. Now they still got this, a Cat 4, 130 mile per hour winds for now. Okay. By the way, I did get 2 hours of sleep while y'all been waiting. So I just woke up just a few minutes before I went live. Did I take over the Weather Channel? No. Hugs from Sweden. Thank you. I'd love to go to Sweden. Now I can't show you radar very well. Well, that's Nebraska. Because there is no radar near Dorian right now. Yeah, thanks, Michelle. Yeah, if you haven't yet, hit that follow button. So I want to take a quick look. I don't have it on this screen. Followers, how many I got now? 915. Ain't that cool? Maybe by the time this thing's over with, I'll have over 1,000. I hope. I deserve it. Yeah, it was going away from the Puerto Rican radar. All right, folks, that's all I got for now. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the bits. Always could use bits. Every little bit helps me to keep coming to you. So I'll be back sometime between 11:15 tonight. So for now, man, see you at 11. Have a good day.